Thank you, dear Robert. If Selina is called the mother of all the money laundering battle, so Andreas Schwartz in Germany is called the father of all the money laundering battle. And I would suggest that we call Robert Pittenger the Holy Father of the money laundering battle, because he is really all the quality of a pope in this area, and he has a lot of expert. Thank you so much, dear Robert, for this initiative and your unique and extraordinary leadership. Let me first of all bring you the warmest greetings from our Speaker of the Bundestag, Honorable Wolfgang Schäuble. He, as the former Minister of Finance, he worked tirelessly to secure stable financial systems around the globe. And he always pleaded for a strong European and American partnership in the fight of money laundering and illicit finance. And you remember he hosted the 11th Forum in 2018 in Berlin, where some of you have been there. And he always endorsed our initiative and sends you warmest greetings, especially to the Speaker of the Parliament. Yeah, one of the primary means that criminal and terrorist organizations use to launder illicit proceeds through trade-based money laundering. It incorporates a range of different techniques with varying levels and complexity. Common forms of trade-based money laundering rely on misrepresenting the price, quantity, and type of beneficial ownership of good and trade transactions. According to a recent General Accounting Office report, trade-based money laundering accounts for hundreds of billions globally every year and is now a primary method of laundering illicit funds. The US State Department has identified 26 countries having high risks of trade-based money laundering. Free trade zones have been identified as particular areas of risk for trade-based money laundering. The Global Financial Center in Dubai, for instance, is a haven for trade-based money laundering with its nearly 30 free trade zones, according to a recent Carnegie Endowment report. Dubai's prosperity is a steady stream of illicit proceeds born from corruption and crime. Corrupt and criminal actors from around the world operate through or from Dubai. Afghan warlords, Russian mobsters, Nigerian kleptocrats, Iranian sanction busters, and East African gold smugglers all find in Dubai a conducive place to cooperate. Sometimes trade-based money laundering is so mundane that the money laundering is not even suspected by misuse companies. For example, around 31 million from the roughly 230 billion laundered from the Danske Bank were tunneled through British companies that did not even realize that they were misused for money laundering. According to the bank statements, the orders and payments came from companies that had accounts with Danske Bank in Estonia. However, the companies were not registered in Estonia. Their headquarters were in Belize, New Zealand, or in the British Virgin Islands. So the recipients of the goods were not the same as the companies that pay for the goods. There were also no direct business relationships between the companies involved. The delivery of the goods went directly to Russia. So banks are required to report suspicious financial transactions. However, banks oftentimes, unfortunately, do not have access to the documentation for most of the trade transactions for which they process payments, making it difficult to identify suspicious activity. Because of the large volume of trade, trade documents are often mixed with legitimate trade. As described, trade-based money laundering is international, a major, and frequently involves complex, difficult to detect schemes that cut across international borders. So as an inherently transnational activity, global money laundering, and especially trade-based money laundering, is perhaps the definitive problem in need of cross-border and rule-based cooperation. Instead of fighting the common enemy, the relations between the democratic countries are unfortunately strained. So a universal norm of transparency needs to be established, and we always discussed it in the last forums all around, in respect to the beneficial ownership of all asset classes. National registers should be standardized and interconnect to facilitate cooperation. So my conclusion for today is the following. We should establish in our democracies to strengthen the liberty, because through the employment of every available foreign policy tool, we can include bilateral and multinational diplomacy, the carrots of trade and aid, as well as the sticks of sanctions and enforcement of the rule of law. Europe and the United States of America, and especially Central America and you and Panama, we can work together as an extraordinary team. And in the framework of this forum, we should really take the challenge to fighting terror and guiding globalization along positive lines and achieving a scientific breakout against the virus of fighting this unload and autocracies. There is nothing we cannot do together, and very little that we can accomplish apart. So in this respect, Congressman Pittenger, let's go together and publish the memorandum of understanding that we will move forward. Thank you so much for your presence and your commitment.